Hello there, Ian. Um,
Hello there, Ben.
I'm Ben. I'm the present chair of the Chester U3A. Thank you for agreeing to take some time off to share your thoughts with us. I know how very busy you are as chairman of the trust. And well, tell us a little bit about yourself, your early U3A experiences, and how you've now ended up as chairman.
Well, thank you very much and nice to meet you. And you may guess that I have an accent which is not very far from where you are in Chester. No, well, I retired early. I was fortunate from the city, something in the city at about 55. And I was an article on U3A in the papers around the time I retired. I thought this is just the sort of thing I'm interested in, self-help and continued learning. So I joined my local U3A, and well, all along the line, I should have kept my hand down, because I ended up being chair and starting up a new U3A in London, Barnet, and then moved on to the regional trustee role, which Jenny, one of your ex-chairs, held, and I was trustee for London for 3 years. And then again, I didn't keep my hand down, so I was elected vice chair. And then I've just come into the end of a 3-year term as chair of the trust.
Right. Okay. So during this time, I know numbers have grown. And can you just tell us how many U3A groups there are in the country now, Ian, and how many members, approximately?
Yeah. Well, there are just over 1,000 independent U3A charities across the whole of the UK. And the average number before the pandemic, for which we have the latest numbers, is 400. So 400,000, about 450,000 members at the end of 2020. And I reckon that each U3A has about 10, an interest group for every 10 members. So my estimate is that there are about 40,000 interest groups across the whole movement, dealing with every single subject under the sun that you can imagine.
40,000 groups. Is yours a paid role at all?
Oh, I'd be a millionaire if it was. No, it's not paid. We're all volunteers. The only paid personnel are the members of the U3A office in South London. There are about 16 paid officials that run this, about the 20th biggest charity in the UK. Very small number of people running a very big organisation. Well, when I said running, they don't run it. They administer.
Administer it, yes. Yeah. I know. I've spoken to staff there asking for help. And very helpful they are too. Now, the local groups organize themselves, but what is it that you as the trust can do for us that we cannot do for ourselves?
Well, our role, you're each of you are an independent charity with a committee elected by your members. So you make all the decisions. The trust has no powers over any U3A. What it's here to do is to give advice and support, because particularly in the areas of finance, good governance, how to conduct AGMs, we provide a constitution that's approved by the Charity Commission. So our role is to, at one level, is to just support and advise U3As that have a myriad of different issues that they have to face, and also to promote the movement across the UK at a national level, so that it gains the attention of the wider public. We only have 400,000 members out of a potential market of third ages of about 12 million.
Right. Okay. But I know that the trust also organizes national lectures and residential courses, which are enjoyed by a lot of people, aren't they?
That's right. So particularly before the pandemic, we had summer schools that members attended. We also put on national seminars, but more importantly, we lead workshops on issues that affect U3As across the country. So members come and we provide advice and support on particular subjects, as I've said, about finance, about governance, how to run interest groups.
Right. We found that COVID has strangely enough given us more U3A members participating virtually. Now, how has the trust as a whole adapted to these COVID restrictions? Have there been any positive, fortuitous outcomes at all?
Well, I think it's a very mixed picture, to be honest. On the one hand, we have had a lot of virtual meetings, particularly at regional levels, ones I would travel around the country to talk to members. The attendance at the virtual meetings is far, far higher, maybe by a factor of 3 or 4. So instead of 50, I'm getting 200 people attend regional meetings, up to 200, and I can communicate it with far more members than I would normally. We've also assisted as a trust, we've assisted members in acquiring technological skills to handle virtual meetings, particularly Zoom. And I think these are appreciated, but the one concern that I have is that the U3A movement is based on face-to-face interaction between members of the public. They meet in interest groups, they meet at monthly meetings. And if we lose this physical contact between members, then we're losing the heart of the U3A. I don't think the movement can thrive virtually. Yes, it can in certain circumstances, but the movement is about social interaction, face-to-face interaction. So I very much hope that after some initial nervousness, which I hear is possibly the case in Chester, and it's certainly across the UK, that by the autumn people will be more comfortable in coming to meet face to face with one another.
Yes, well, you know, I personally miss the face-to-face contact, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, if I was just web hopping and came across this program and wasn't a member of the U3A, what would you tell me or say to me to encourage me to join the U3A locally?
Well, I would say a number of things. First of all, it provides you with a completely new set of friends, a completely new set of a social network, which in itself is very, very important at our stage of life, to have this new contacts, new friends, etc. But the other thing is the U3A is about informal learning into the third age. And if you look at the list of all the interest groups that a U3A offers, there's bound to be something that you think, oh yes, that's something I thought I would do when I was younger, but I never had the time to do it. Learn French, learn about geology, go on walks, and there will be something for everybody, I'm sure, on the list of interest groups. But if there's not, you can put your name down as a person that's prepared to lead a group, a history group, or a Shakespeare group. And so it's a volunteer movement. You get as much out of the U3A as you're willing to put in, but it can be for many people a life-changing experience, particularly if people have become widowed or separated from their families and are lonely. It's a wonderful antidote to a lot of social problems.
Yes, thank you. That's helpful, and I hope it encourages those who are not as yet members. Now, coming back to you, as it were, you're finishing your 3-year term as chair in August. What plans have you got lined up after a rest to continue with the U3A?
Number one aim is to get my golf handicap down. Number two is to go back to my U3A and continue to lead my British history group. And the other thing that I've really become very interested in, I don't know if any of you have picked it up, but there's a slow ways initiative that the trust is involved to map all the footpaths across the UK. And I would be very keen to get my own U3A involved in this this initiative, which is well publicised in U3A communication channels.
Yeah,
I won't be I won't be short of things to do.
yes, I'm sure that's true. Now, thank you so much for discussing this with us, and good luck with the rest of your term till August, and then we wish you well after that.
Well, thank you very much, Ben, and I wish you well in Chester. You have some. I have some very close friends through the trust, Hilary Jones and Chris Winner, that are in Flint U3A, which can't be very far from you, I don't think.
No, that's true.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and okay then. Thank you very much. All the best.
Good luck. All the best.